Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, I have it on the knife review, and today's knife review is a Walmart knife. That's right, this is the second edition of the Walmart knife review. This is the Ozark Trail knife. Very popular in that Walmarts carry these in the hunting section for $3.87. Now, I did a review on the first one, which was a blue Tanto version. This is a tan flipper version, we'll call it, because it does have a little flipper on the back, which does work with a little oomph of the wrist. Cannot get this thing to fly out without any wrist action. And trust me, I've tried. You get close, but no cigar. Little wrist, there we go. Okay, so let's talk about some specs. Not a whole lot known about these knives other than physical dimensions. 3-inch blade. This happens to be a reverse Tanto blade. Okay, with a little bit of a sweep to it. I actually like it quite a bit. I much prefer this over the other version, just in the blade style. I'm just not a huge fan of Tanto or Tanto style blades. 4-inch G10 handle, and that makes it 7 inches overall. These handle scales are genuine G10, but boy are they thin. Talk about cheap. So you can see we have a flow-through design. All right, so we have a couple standoffs here, non-decorative or anything. All right, which is a positive. I like free-flowing handle designs because they don't capture lint or anything in the pockets, so they stay a little bit cleaner, a little bit longer. It is a liner lock, as you can see here. It does have ambidextrous thumb studs, okay, so you can open it right-handed or left-handed. All right, so you don't have to use that flipper function if you don't want. As far as flipper, as you saw there, I mean, you know, it's hard for me to, again, get that out without a little wrist action, but once you get a little wrist action, I mean, it doesn't take much to shoot that out. It does lock up surprisingly nice. All right, this thing locks up the same as some of my $50 knives, some of my $100 knives. Locks up just as good as some of my $200 or $300 knives. So that's surprising. It really is surprising. This one was used quite a bit when I first got it. It kind of sat in a drawer for a while. I really thought I did this review soon after I did my first one, and I was, you know, told that I didn't. You know, people are asking for it in the comments, and I was trying to find the video to send them a link so they can see it, and I realized I never made it. So I broke it back out, EDC'd it for another 2 or 3 days just to get refamiliarized with it, and here we go. Here's the review, right? So yeah, I mean, as far as the overall design compared to the first one, ooh, we got some thunder going on. Sorry about the background noise. But anyway, as far as the design itself, I much prefer this one over the first one. Not only aesthetically, but the addition of the flipper, the ergonomics of it is much better. And they're identical price-wise. They're $387. There's a whole rack of them. And if you guys like these reviews, of course, let me know. Maybe I'll pick up a couple other models because I think they have another 3 models that I haven't tried yet, possibly 4, and I do believe they have a multi-tool. So I might get that $4 multi-tool. We'll see what that one's like. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's a little bit more comfortable than the first one. Nice little you know, thumb rest here, or sweep up for the thumb. The jimping is actually very purposeful here on the back of the spine, as well as throughout the frame. So you can see we have a stainless steel frame. All right, and there's some jimping here as well as towards the bottom. All right, and of course a little bit jimping on our liner lock. I do have a big problem with the liner lock. I'll talk about it in just a second. No design feature that really makes it comfortable. This is a little uncomfortable here. A lot of times, you know, the handles will have a little bit of a curve towards the butt end or a flat spot so that, you know, they consider a reverse grip. This is really not meant to be held in a reverse grip. At least the designer didn't think of it much because it's not very comfortable. But in a forward grip, natural grip, feels very nice. And like I said, this does poke through a little bit. Even though you can see it's even with the handle scales, you do feel that quite a bit. Okay, so your whole thumb just kind of rests right here. Feels very nice. Also, naturally, that flipper will create a finger guard, which locks in the finger very nicely. A little bit of a finger choil here, and there's actually a second finger choil, which might be hard to see with this design on the G10, but yeah, ergonomically, very comfortable. This just fits my hand. I find that I'm like kind of tucking my fingers together to get it to completely fit. If I just pick this up and naturally grab it, you can see I have like 3/4 of that pinky. So I just suck it in just to get that good tight grip. But yeah, ergos are actually really, really nice on this. As far as the finish, we have a stonewash style finish. It just kind of looks dirty. In person, it looks a little bit better than what I'm seeing through the viewfinder here. But you can see that the finish is actually rubbed off at the ricasso on both sides. And I'm assuming that is because when they sharpen these knives, I'm referring to right there, might be hard with the glare, but it's just totally rubbed off, and you get, that's what the knife is like when it's brand new, because I'm assuming they're putting these through buffing machines to sharpen that edge, and when they do, it just rubs off the finish on both sides. So as far as like, you know, the overall quality, yeah, just like the first one, it's not totally there. For the price tag, it's definitely there and beyond, which that's part of the conclusion of this review. Just like the first one, even though ergonomically it feels really good, it still has a little bit of that unfinished feel in that these contoured scales have, you know, kind of an edge to them. I mean, it's not sharp at all, but they definitely feel like they can be rounded. But you can see, I mean, just how thin those scales really are. So I don't know. And of course, that's an extra process in making or manufacturing of the knife, so that would make the cost go up. Now let's go back to this this lock, this liner lock. Now, like I said, I mean, it does lock up very nicely. All right, there's no play in any direction, and it's very easy to get to because it pokes out quite a bit here, but it's too short. The top of this lock, let me give you a good angle here. You see how there's like a notch here? That's actually sharp. All right, so when you go to use this, if your thumb gets up on the upper portion inside that you know, finger choil, it actually hurts. It hurts to grab the top of that. Okay, so I have to consciously, you know, grab low, because in using this, I actually went to go close it, and I rubbed the top part here, and it really irritated my thumb. All right, so that's kind of a bummer. The first one didn't have that. Not a huge deal, not a deal breaker by any means. As far as the pocket clip, you can see it's a right side carry, tip down only, not swappable. All right, you can remove it, of course, if you wanted to. I wouldn't. I happen to like, you know, the pocket clip. Kind of cheesy. We have this beautiful kind of, you know, stonewash, somewhat matte finish on this, and then our hardware is kind of a satin finish, and our clip is just a super high polish. Okay, it just really stands out. It's a cheap looking design to me. As far as the function, it works fine. I mean, you can easily hyperextend this, you know, unlike maybe a better quality, you know, pocket clip. So as far as like getting caught on things, because I've carried knives ever since I was 9 years old, and I've gotten my pocket clip caught on all kinds of stuff, from seat belts to clothing, you know, sitting into a desk or a chair or something, going to get up, it rubbing on things, and it grabs that corner of that clip and it pulls it out. And if you have a poor quality clip, it'll bend it, it'll kink it, and then it'll never work the same. You have to actually take it off and bend it back, and now you've lost the integrity of the metal. So just be extra careful, that's all. Just be extra careful that hooking on things, all right, because it does flare up quite a bit there. So it's going to want to grab on stuff. But I felt it, you know, held in the pocket totally fine. Again, textured scale, but smooth. Does that make sense? It's contoured, not textured. That's probably a better way to say that. But yeah, I mean, overall, $4. It's kind of a no-brainer. The best way I can describe this is this knife costs $3.87, but as far as the quality, it is on par with $20 and $30 knives, with the only exception being this liner lock. You'll never get a $20 or $30 knife that has that problem. So as far as you know, picking between the two, well, why should you? They're $4 a piece. Get one of every knife they have. Why not, right? But if you really are dead set on just getting one, I happen to prefer this one a lot over the first one. First off, just the blade shape alone. Even though this is a reverse tanto and it might look kind of funky to you guys, imagine that's not there. This is where our performance is, right? So now we're back to a very basic drop point, you know? Just a little bit of sweep up front, nice and straight down here, very easy to sharpen. And by the way, this did come really sharp. You can easily slice paper when it was brand new. Since then, I've, you know, sharpened it. Well, I touch it up a little bit. I didn't do a full sharpening job, but I have been stropping and stuff, so it doesn't have a factory edge. It's actually a little sharper than it was originally. As far as the blade steel, I didn't mention it because I don't know what it is. Definitely 400 series stainless, but or at least that's what it feels like. You know, the heat treat's not bad at all. It's actually a pretty decent performing knife for $4. So you'd be very hard pressed to find any other knife for $4 other than different Ozark trail knives and get the same performance out of them. So yeah, stay tuned. I really think I'm going to get the multi-tool. At first I kind of glanced over it because I was looking for the folders. They have a traditional style lockback. It's got like 2 different wood scales or something on there. I was kind of on the fence about it. Because, you know, I got knives everywhere. I don't need the knives, but for review purposes, you guys might want to you know, hear about those two. But you let me know in the comments. If you don't care, you kind of get the point, that's fine. I'll move on with other stuff. If you really want them, I'll spend the $4 and I'll get it for you. And by the way, if you don't have a Walmart by you, you can get these online. They're like $5 or $6 plus shipping, unless you you know, get free shipping depending on what site you get it from. But if you don't have a Walmart by you, you probably live in a cave, and you're going to need a knife more than everyone else is. So you might want to step it up and get something better than this. But it's really not bad. I can't bash on it. Yeah, it has its flaws. I mean, the major thing for me, again, is the top portion of this liner lock just being uncomfortable. You know, very uncomfortable. But I've trained myself to just grab it low. So I've overcome pretty much the only problem with this knife. For $4, I mean, damn, that's pretty good. I like it, and I endorse it. I endorse Walmart Ozark Trail knives. For now, we'll see where they go with the quality. I'd love to see, you know, them come out, of course, with more models. The more the merrier. Now, when you go to Walmart, you'll see this usually on like a little spinny rack on the desk, or the desk, on the counter there where they have the other knives. And then you'll see like especially around Christmas time, they'll come out with like the Remington knives and the Winchester branded stuff and some of the Gerber stuff. And, you know, those sets are usually like more like $20, you know, $15, $20, something like that. Definitely stick with this. I've gotten a few different stuff from them before. It's not all bad. They've had some good Kershaws in the past and a couple good Gerbers and so forth. But, you know, for $4, that's totally different realm than the whole $20 Christmas gift packs. So in my opinion, skip that stuff. Unless, of course, you're buying it for yourself. But if you're talking about gifts for people, skip all that and just stick with these. You know, the first blue one and this one. For $4 each, get one of each for all the people that you think would benefit from having a knife who don't already carry them. So I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.